Package deal, guys. Package deal. Package deal. Package deal. Oh. Guys, what am I talking about? I'm talking about Sanchez plus Caicedo to Chelsea for 100 plus million. Find a way. If it don't work, you try, and try again. That's what we were taught as little kids. Guys, welcome back to the Chelsea Godfather. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm on my way to 1,000 subs. I need y'all to show me some love and help me get to 1,000 subs ASAP. Guys, Caicedo, Sanchez, you guys already know those are the two players that we've been massively linked with. Um, I don't know what else to say. I mean, we've been trying to pry Caicedo away from Brighton all summer long, um, and it's just been the same thing all over again. I mean, we just our fourth bid was fourth bid was 80 million pounds. It was swiftly ejected. Obviously, since then, some things have happened in that, Caicedo, following an award that he received, I believe a Brighton Player of the Year award he received, he informed Brighton fans that, listen, guys, I mean, my heart is set on joining Chelsea. So I don't know. You all need to figure it out. And so this is really Todd Bowley's effort to try and help Brighton to figure this thing out. Obviously, we need another goalie to provide some level of competition for Kepa, and so that's where Sanchez comes in handy because he's currently backup. I don't know. He's backup goalie for Brighton. I believe he has 2 years left on his contract, and he wants to leave and he's ready to come to Chelsea. I believe personal terms have ever been agreed or already between Sanchez and Chelsea. Brighton from based on reports, Brighton is not even going to stand in his way. So there's no issue in terms of the Sanchez to Chelsea deal. The issue is, of course, which has always been the issue, which is the valuation of the Caicedo to Chelsea deal. So, and I believe part of the sticking point is the fact that apparently Caicedo's prior club, his original club from Ecuador, they get, I believe, up to 20 percent of the transfer fee. So that's I guess that's you might want to call it greed or whatever it is, but the point is, for that reason, Brighton is trying to obviously squeeze as much as they can out of Caicedo, because he's their biggest asset, and I don't see any other player that they're going to be selling anywhere near this amount in the next 3 or 4 or 5 years. So that's really what is driving this. And some reports have mentioned that this deal could be worth as high as 110 to 115 million pounds. I don't know. I mean, that wouldn't make sense because right now we're at 80. Sanchez is at valued at right around 20 million. So even if you value Sanchez at 25, right? All right, 25 plus 80 gets you to 105. And then I guess if you then add another 5 on Caicedo, then that would be 110. So for me, the maximum package deal offer should be no more than 110 million pounds, and even that is even high. I would see a number. I would like to see a number somewhere in the 105 million pound range. But I believe it's gonna if this deal gets done on the package deal premise, it will likely be somewhere closer to 110 million pound range. And so if the next offer comes in and if it's anywhere around that 110, then there's a fair likelihood that it's more than a 50-50 chance that the deal is going to get done. But if they are much further away from 110 million pound that offer is, let's say if we come in at 100 million or less than 105 million, there's a fair likelihood that Brighton is going to reject the deal. So that's just me speaking as a fan on the outside, looking in and based on all these tweets and whatnot. So that's where we are with regards to that. Then the other deal that's been flying around is the other contentious deal among Chelsea fans. The Chelsea nation has been in many meltdown over this deal, the possibility swap deal between Chelsea and Juventus, where we give them Lukaku plus cash, and they give us Vlahovic. I'll be honest, my initial reaction was, let's do the deal, right? Let's do the deal for various reasons. Number one, Lukaku, there's no way for him to stay at Chelsea. I mean, he's just like a liability all over. He's a distraction. He's a liability on our books. Financially, off our books, he's distraction. They're gonna keep asking questions. What's going on? We don't have time for the distraction. We have a lot of young players. We have a brand new manager, and they need 110% focus so we can know if we can finish top four, or even go for this league title based on what Enzo is saying. So that's number one. Then number two is the fact that Vlahovic, prior to going to Juventus, he was average. I believe he's averaged around 20 goals per season for like 2 seasons. The 2 prior seasons at Fiorentina before he moved to Juventus, and he was actually fairly healthy. And then when he went to Juventus, his goals kind of dried up. But if you look closely, good and bad, because that's going to lead me to point number 3. Part of the reason why his goals dried up is the guy just could not stay fit. His injury record, he just had a consistent bout and of injuries, muscular type injuries, abductor type injuries, all sorts of crazy injuries. They're not like serious injuries, but they're niggling injuries, groin injuries, things of that nature that when you get it, it's gonna knock you out for like a good month or month and a half on the average, generally, anywhere from 3 weeks to like 6 weeks a piece. If you're out for 6 weeks and you're in for like a month or max, and you're going out for another month, that's not good. And that's basically what happened to Vlahovic at Juventus last season. And so that is the concern. And so that's where I have a little bit of pause on this deal. Is Juventus offloading the player on us? Notwithstanding the player is still just 23 years old, so he's young. He's a young kid. He's a young man. He's a very young man. He's only 23, right? But is there something that Juventus knows that we don't know? Because in as much as we are desperate to offload Lukaku, are we about to get a bigger headache on our hands in terms of taking their player who is injury prone and who, no matter what we do, we're not going to be able to get him on the field. And on top of that, he's going to be on very high, wages, right? So that's a bit of that's a massive question mark, and is a massive concern. But that, being said, you have to look at the deal in terms of also, financially, the financial value of the player that we're potentially, getting. He's a 23-year-old player. He's not going to be forced, to start week in, week out, because even this summer, I mean, he was injured just last month. I mean, you all seen his injury record. He was injured even as late as June. He pulled up with some kind of muscular injury that knocked him out for about a month, right? So, I mean, you know, definitely the player's not in any shape to be rushed in, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But the other concern is based on reports, and we don't know whether these reports are true or not. But it appears um, that some reports are saying that Vlahovic is not keen on joining Chelsea. Well, I don't know whether it's true or not. Nobody has heard it from the horse's mouth, right? This is what you just hear these kind of reports, but it doesn't really mean anything until we actually find out what the reality is. But if the player is not keen on joining, then we just might as well cancel this deal. Now, if we're still negotiating with Juventus for the possibility of this deal, then for me, the inference is the likelihood that Chelsea must have already talked to Vlahovic, and because you're not going to make a move if we don't know if the player wants to come. If Chelsea makes an actual move on this deal, that means that there's a fair chance that the player has already given them a green light. The player being Vlahovic has given them a green light to move forward on the deal. So again, there's a lot of big ifs. Then on the Lukaku side, it appears that Lukaku himself has already given a green light on to move forward to Juventus, which because normally he's the one that has been killing all these deals. But for once, if this deal doesn't go through, it's not going to be Lukaku's fault. It's going to be on the fault of Vlahovic. But either way, regardless, Chelsea should not be paying more than 25 million euros. It should be Lukaku plus 25 million euros max to make this deal happen. In consideration of Vlahovic's injury, record. His not just recent but current injury, ongoing injury record is still a gamble at that fee. But at that fee is a little bit easier for us to offload the player at that fee, and with the possibility of not losing basically where we were before, because where we are right now is we have Lukaku on our books valued at 40 million euros. So regardless, basically the worst deal for us should be that last if this thing is not working out, we can offload Vlahovic for 40 million. That's the point. So Chelsea should not be paying anywhere near 40 million for Vlahovic plus Lukaku. It should be around 25 million, less than 30 million euros. Then that will make the deal make sense, and it will be fair with less risk, financially for Chelsea. Guys, how do you all feel about this? I know this is a little bit of a breakdown, but guys, how do you all feel? Share this video, like this video, and subscribe. God bless you all. Peace.